Hey everyone, welcome back to Ask Neena Teacher. We are continuing our journey through the fascinating timeline of Indian education system. This time diving into a chapter that's rich, complex, and yes, a bit heartbreaking. The medieval period. We've already uncovered the golden days of ancient Indian education. Remember the glory of Nalanda, Takashila, and those age old Gurukuls? Sure, it wasn't a perfect world. Eklavya, anyone remembers? But the quality of learning was simply unmatched. But then history took a dramatic turn. Nalanda Mahavira, once a bustling university established in the 5th century, thrived for nearly 800 years. That's longer than most modern institutions have even existed. But disaster struck when waves of invasions began. In 1193, Bakhtiyar Khilji, a Turkic commander under the Delhi Sultanate, burned down the Nalanda, massacred monks, and destroyed libraries that held centuries of wisdom. This marked the beginning of a long decline in India's education system. The medieval era ushered in the Muslim rule, and by 1526, with Babur's conquest, the Mughal Empire was established. While they did bring a new educational system, it was very different from what came before. Let's explore what changed. So, what was education like during the medieval period? The goal? It was to create individuals who were religiously devout and socially responsible. The system shifted towards Islamic teachings, practical skills, and preparing people to serve the empire. The funding. Mughal emperors funded schools, but they didn't micromanage them. They offered patronage but not control. The teacher-student bond, it was still strong. While students anymore didn't live anymore in the forest ashrams, teachers remained deeply respected mentors, like modern day life coaches. And the learning style, it was personalized and interactive. Think of it as medieval era private tuition. What did students learn? Since books were still rare, learning was oral. Though listening, repeating, and memorizing was going strong. There were two main types of education. One was the religious education. In that there was memorizing the Quran, often in form of poetry, learning Prophet Muhammad's teachings, studying Islamic law and history. And then there was also secular education, in which Arabic and Persian were taught, which were essential for jobs in administration. Math was emphasized, multiplication tables were all memorized. Subjects like grammar, calligraphy, literature, astronomy, geography, and even political science were taught. And just like before, no exams. Students were assessed on practical application, not rote learning. The types of school with the decline of Gurukuls, two new institutions emerged. The first one was called Maktabs. They were primary schools. They taught reading, writing, arithmetic, and Quranic studies. Every child had to study the Quran. There were no options given. And then there were those madrasas. Higher education was focused on subjects like medicine, history, Greek philosophy. Emperor Akbar, he brought revolutionary changes. One, he ended compulsory Quran studies for non-Muslims. Then he included Hindu and Buddhist scriptures in the curriculum. He also introduced a step-by-step learning process from letters to words to sentences. Sounds like the early childhood pedagogy, right? His reign made education systematic, inclusive, and thoughtfully designed. Now let's take a quick tour of the major centers of learning in those times. In Delhi, under Humayun, it became a center for astronomy and geography. Agra, Akbar turned it into a cultural and educational hub. And in Bidar, thanks to Muhammad Gawan, it boasted a library of over 3,000 manuscripts which covered theology, medicine, and many more subjects. Now let's look at the strengths and weaknesses of this education system. In strengths, I would like to say there was a lot of focus on practical learning. There was deep teacher-student connection, and there was no exams, no pressure of exams. And there was a wide range of subjects, both religious and secular. And in weakness, heavy focus on religious education, less on creativity, and innovation limited. And this education was mostly for elite. There was emphasis on administrative roles, not personal or artistic growth. So, what do you think about education during the medieval period? Was it progress, decline, or just a different kind of learning? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to tap that notification bell so you never miss an update from Ask Neena Teacher. See you next time where we continue tracing the roots of education in India.